There's another thing in relation to developing meaning that I wanted to share, relating to the post I made a couple days ago about the present making sense of the past. I see this with like tattoos that I've gotten. One aspect is like the tattoos I got on my legs in Korea. I just got them because I liked the designs. I didn't have any purpose beyond that, really, of like what they symbolize. I just like the designs. I wanted darker theme stuff on my legs. As I live my life, I find experiences and aspects of these images which I attach to them. That's how symbols in general work. The symbols themselves don't inherently mean anything. It's what they relate to that gives them the meaning. So yeah, I kind of like that, of like having that blank slate to sort of attach aspects to. Another one of my first tattoos I've gotten, like maybe my second one, is the symbol that I use for balance, for visceral eloquence, with the circle intertwined with the equilateral triangle. But the initial sentiment of like when I got that tattoo, it was just something that was visualized when I was on an acid trip. I was just sitting with my eyes closed and that image kind of came to me, among other things. I was like wondering the significance of that, and the initial meaning I had attached to it was that I have my own path and other people have their own paths, and at certain points they intersect, but we each still have our own paths to follow. So I see that as like the circle being one person's path, the triangle being another. The points where they intersect is kind of about detachment in a sense, being able to freely associate things, but then move on and be free of them when they no longer serve purpose, to keep following what is fundamentally kind of like feeding your purpose in a sense, if that makes sense. But after a while, I realized the underlying sentiment of that notion between people you attach to and where our lives intersect is just the fundamental notion of balance. So it applies to many things. It's not always about extremes or this thing over that thing. It's about coordinating all the tools, all the aspects and dynamics in cohesive balance to really truly be effective. So I'm just entertained with like the development of meaning over time to these things I associate with. And in that theme, I think there's a detriment to trying to hold the absolute specific definition of a symbol indefinitely, rather than freely allowing your interpretation and association with it to evolve and change over time.